I'm going on a date tonight from very first date of 2024. And I was supposed to meet him at the restaurant a minute ago. I get to my car and my car won't start. So I texted him and he said he could come pick me up. And usually I don't let men pick me up, but I'm gonna need somebody to help jump my car. So. You guys, he literally left me here.
He went to the bathroom and never came back. Hold on. So it looks like she ordered something to eat and a drink, and I don't think he ordered anything. Okay, let's see.
As you just saw,
she's drunk.
Man's left me. He drove me, picked me all the way up. He drove me all the way to the bar, and then he ordered a drink and he drank the whole drink, and then he went to the bathroom and never came back. Not much to say. Not only did he order a drink the whole drink, and then leave and not pay for the drink, he also left me stranded. He left me knowing damn well that I was stranded because my car hadn't started, so he picked me up, right? He knew that I was stranded.
What? Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching, bro.
And I've been blocked from everything already, which is fine, expected. But yeah, so that was my very first date of 2024, and that will be the last. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how he's a therapist? He's a therapist, so ladies, watch the fuck out.
What I was gonna say originally is that if you notice, she was in the car and said she was supposed to be there a minute ago. She was already gonna be late to the date. So now she's late to the date and now asked him to go out of his route to go pick her up to bring her into the establishment. My thought was that after getting into the car, he might have felt like he got catfished. They went to the establishment. He's just like, I don't want to be here anymore. And then he just left. Ordering a drink before you leave and then not paying for it is nasty work. I mean, let's keep it a buck. I don't know, maybe if he was catfish, he felt as though the drink was compensation. I still think that's a weird way to think about things. So it's hard for me to try to defend, but yeah, sticking her with the tab and having her figure out how to get home is nasty work, but we don't know all of the sides of the story. She could be catfishing.
I don't even know what's wrong with that. I think him being a therapist makes perfect sense. Create trauma, create demand, and then provide supply.
Get the money.
Genius.
You thought he was bailing on your date. No, what this guy's trying to do is get another customer.
Oh, hello. How we meet again. Sit down. So,
let's talk about what I did to you and how it makes you feel.
I saw I got a girl that got stood up. I'm the guy. That's me. To his coworkers. That's me. Oh, thank you, buddy. High five.
Have you been struck by a fuckboy? Come to my service here at Dr. Rossman. We'll make sure we take good care of you.
And then in the back, he has a bunch of fuckboys that he pays to go fuck
Genius.
everybody.
Yo, what if the most wild thing? He's like, okay, tell me what you see when you look at this image, and it's just a picture of him. And he just keeps switching pictures of him.
The ink
now
blot.
what you see.
Me and you and then
Still
now.
you, right?
Still you.
The man who hurt me. Yes, good.
Yo, shout outs to you, my girl. It's stuff out there.
So this went viral. Everyone wants to talk about it, but then it went a step further.
Post him. Let's see his face.
Drum
No,
roll,
she didn't.
So this is the only photo I could find because he was actually already posted on the Are We Dating the Same Guy? And this is Ray. This is Ray. Ray, 37. There's so much more to say. He's not actually 37. His name's not actually Ray. Anyway, I'll be back.
Oh, you got the crunchy stuff. You got the crunchy.
I found this one by accident.
Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah. So there's if you guys aren't aware, there's these Facebook groups or groups online called Are We Dating the Same Guy for whatever city.
I get.
Feel how you feel, want to feel about it. A lot of women will just post a dude they had a bad date with, and then everybody else will just, oh, he's an asshole. But sometimes there's dudes out there who are serial con artists, and then there's like 20 women who are in that group who are like, wait, I went on a date with him, and he tried to, oh wait, I dated him for 7 weeks, and his name is actually, and he has 2 kids.
I actually have a homegirl that has access to the dating app that he's talking about, or the Facebook group rather that he's talking about. If you guys think that'd be good content for me to go through, just to go look at these posts and see all of these women kind of commenting on, are we dating the same guy? Let me know if you guys think that would be good content.
With that being said, thoughts?
That's a con artist.
Hold up, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm never coming back. Sorry.
No, it's fine. The timing was good. It's good timing. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? What? All right, cool. All right.
This is what I would say. I just couldn't imagine ever doing that. I've been on dates that were super meh. Been on boring ass dates. The idea of leaving someone after buying a drink.
Yeah,
and leaving them
I'd
with
split the bill.
Having I would have at least just got her an Uber. I said I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why. The only way I could ever see myself doing something even remotely similar was if I was being catfished. Yeah. But if I'm being catfished, I'm nibbing that shit in the butt right off the top. I'm going to pick her up. I'm like, is that you, Cindy? And
yeah, but sometimes you need like additional, like you need changes of lighting, right? Like you need to try to see if you can, in your mind, imagine without the layers of makeup or the eyelashes that she didn't have in her photo. You got to see it from the back and look back at your phone to match the angles that she captured when she was 20 to 30 pounds, maybe less than what she was when you just met her. And I'm talking from experience because I've definitely been catfished before in the past. I mean, legitimately, I've had pictures of women that I've seen online, gorgeous. You see them face to face and they look nothing like the photo. And I remember one woman in specific, I was asking her, I was like, do you think that you look like the photos that you have? Needless to say, I linked up with her for like maybe 20 minutes maximum and then moved on throughout my day. But I wouldn't think about ordering a drink and then just leaving. I would, if anything, just split the tab and go on my merry way. Irrespective if the lady catfished him, I do think that what he did is low moral character, low integrity, and he probably didn't think he's gonna get outed for that. And him being a therapist, if he was even telling the truth, because he might have been lying, is super odd in terms of all of this. But absolutely genius. Create the issues, solve for the problems. It's a fantastic business model. Kind of like what feminism does. You're a victim, ma'am. In a world where you have the most amount of access to resources, in a world where my rights are no different than your rights, in a world where you get equal pay for equal output, you're a victim. Here, sign my pamphlet. It's a fantastic business model. Create an issue and then build a skill set to fix that issue. Brilliant.
I would not entertain a conversation. That's fine. Driving her to the location, grabbing a drink, have her order some food, and then disappear, that's super weird and off to me. I don't think there's a real justification anyone could give me unless something was said on that date that was completely insane. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's off. It's super off.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised like that. I don't know. I don't even know how you savages are and what's the point of doing that and everything and stuff. Assuming you're, I don't know, man. I don't know. How do you feel good at not like? How'd you feel good going back to your place and then feeling like, yeah, no, I'm a good person. I did great today. That's up. You dodged one. You dodged one because you don't want that behavior to further
later
up.
on. Yeah,
I don't know what causes that. Someone to act like that, someone to do that, but I don't think that it translates well in a relationship.
Yeah,
you're just gonna dodge all the problems that you're gonna have, and you're gonna leave the person like that, and just not. Yeah, nah.
Like a lot of people have been talking about how they're quitting dating apps. Like this is one of the many dates that people are talking about. But there's just somebody who did an extensive video on the topic.
Go ahead.
Here's my theory about why dating apps have never been worse than they are now. I'll explain by doing a quick history of how we got here. Let's flash back to the early 2010s. Tinder is this revolutionary new app that's branding itself as this crazy new way to meet people via your phone. Like many of you guys, I wasn't old enough to use it because I was in high school at the time, but we all knew about it. I mean, like Kendall Jenner was promoting it. So for a time, it seemed totally legit. But over time, it developed a reputation for being seedy and primarily for people who just wanted to do booty calls.
No. I'm old enough to remember because I was one of the first people to sign up. And at its inception, it was primarily an app for people who wanted to hook up. The problem is, it went mainstream and a bunch of ladies were like, I want to find love. So they started signing up on Tinder, not realizing folks were looking for booty calls. So then they were like, oh, this app is disgusting. It's like, yeah, you went to fucking a strip club and found out there were strippers there. That's your problem, not ours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's absolutely right. And I say it like this is that, when Tinder came out, they were paid dating sites. So if there's a free one, you're not removing the barrier to entry to open up to cardinal needs and desires. Were relationships being formed from Tinder? Yeah. Shit, even marriages. But the majority of Tinder since its inception was for hooking up. Shit, I'll do you one better. Most of y'all don't even remember when Facebook started. This is way before the Facebook dating days, but when Facebook started, I remember because I was on Penn State's campus back in 2004. Underneath relationship status, it was single, in a relationship, married, and you know what that fourth one was? Random play. I remember clicking on the search tool and clicking on that random play to filter all of the young thoughts that were up on that campus, and I just started poking all of them bitches. Poke, 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 poke. It was like shooting fish in a damn barrel. Someone's gonna bite, but that's what Tinder was and still is today. It's essentially like just selecting random play. It's hard for me to even conceive that Facebook is 20 years old, but I digress.
There's plenty of fish. There's a lot of different apps at the time, but no, they went to Tinder. I want to make friends first before we go on a date. That's why the app went to shit. If I remember correctly, too, Tinder was popular first on college campuses and universities.
It was popular because it was Olympics at the time. I remember there was Olympics. One of the big things that happened is that Olympic teams were hooking up. I don't remember which Olympic it was, but I remember specifically there was one Olympic at the same time that Tinder was on.
They were giving them condoms.
I don't remember.
I remember that.
And people in the athletes village or whatnot, the Olympic village, they were using Tinder to just find each other, and it was a whole ass fest. And that also promoted Tinder, but it was exactly for the reason that you said. It was really to hook up. Mm-hmm. Now you got all the people from different countries all at the same spot, able to let's go see what the gymnasts are talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I don't think that was how it started, but yes.
It didn't start, but they helped it promote it.
Yeah, here we go. Online dating app Tinder gains popularity among college students. You think college students were out here looking for love? Created by USC alumni co-founders Sean Rad and Justin Mateen in September 2012, Tinder was first launched at university starting at their alma mater. It was never for relationships. Mm-hmm. College students were just hooking up like crazy. Yeah. There was outbreaks of chlamydia and everything. It was wild time. Yeah. So that's how people were hearing about it initially. So people were coming on the app looking for relationships like that's not what this thing was for. And so it just kind of shifted over time until it went downhill. But her telling the history is incorrect.
So a few years later, in direct response to Tinder's gross vibes, Bumble launched, creating a space where women made the first move and ostensibly solving the problem for anyone who wanted a place to go if they wanted to find a relationship.
And then found out that women don't like making the first move, so Bumble was also dog shit.
But like Tinder, it eventually got overrun by people who just...
quality of women, I will say that. Like if you're going on like Plenty of Fish or Facebook dating, that's like the dog shit. Right? If you go on Tinder, it's like a little bit of a step above. The level above that, I would say, is like Bumble/Hinge. But from what I've seen, Hinge has the most amount of quality per capita.
Just wanted to bang and its reputation declined. Again, in direct response to this was the emergence of Hinge, which, despite, fun fact, being originally designed to match you with mutual friends of people you are on Facebook, was rebranded as the dating app designed to be deleted. And so it overtook Bumble as the place you would go to find the real deal. Now, this all happened in the late 2010s. Yeah. And then what happened in 2020? The pandemic, which threw a wrench in this cycle and kept Hinge popular for longer. But what's happened to Hinge these days is exactly what happened to the apps that came before it. Because one of the main ways these apps make money is by selling your data. And to have as much saleable data as possible and to drive business growth, they want to sign up as many people as they can. But that's a double-edged sword. You can't drive growth and retain your sterling commitment to set people up with life partners at the same time. The more people join an app, the more people just want to use it for hookups, the worse the quality people on the app gets, the more diluted the original mission gets. It's free. And at least with Tinder and Bumble, there was another app to jump to if you really wanted to find a relationship. But ever since Hinge, no other app has come on the market that's a genuine competitor. Smaller ones like The League or Coffee Meets Bagel or Locks Club have all come up, but they're too niche to really crack the mainstream as the next big thing. So if you're wondering why your Hinge feed is absolute trash, it's because it too has hit the inflection point where it's so oversaturated that it's sacrificed quality for user growth. I remember the old days of Hinge back in 2018 where it seems like I was awash in a group of men who were exactly my type, aka Hinge just pushing guys who went to Ivies and worked in corporate America. But these days, Hinge puts those people behind a paywall because it doesn't actually want to be the app that you delete. That's a horrible business strategy. So it's going to make it a lot more difficult for you to get off the app. And that's where the rose system comes in, where it identifies the people you would most want to match with, tempts you with their existence, but puts them behind a paywall so you have to spend more money to even talk to them. Because selling your data isn't enough. It wants you to spend as much money as possible to find people you would actually like. Which, in my opinion, doesn't even end up working because receiving a rose from someone isn't flattering, it's unsettling. No matter who you are, the idea of someone paying to try to talk to you when they don't even know you.
I've seen that rose thing, and yes, you have to pay for rose, but I think you get 1 rose per day. And I'd argue that the majority of people receiving roses did not pay for said roses. So I think it's odd that people just assume that, oh, I'm just going to pay to talk to you. But what she said is actually very important when it comes to kind of a company's brand or strategic positioning of that brand, because that's how they brand themselves, the app to delete. What they don't tell you is that they have algorithms working in the background in order to understand who are the highest matches, and they put those matches behind a paywall. Whew, technology today is something goddamn else. I mean, shit, you could look up on like the TikTok app and see this bold beauty filter, which is not a filter. Essentially, what it's doing is it's AI looking at images of thousands of beautiful people and matching your face to those thousands of beautiful people in order to create something new. So to think that algorithms don't understand what you find attractive after you swipe right on a couple of women that you like, it can define a type. And this is an aside, but I was actually considering reviewing this video and put it on the channel. Hinge's Makeover, the new era for dating apps. This came out on CNBC Make It about 12 days ago. Only a couple of views, I mean, relatively speaking, from millions of views that I've seen on CNBC Make It's channel, but I thought it was an incredibly interesting story. One of the most interesting things is the creation of this modern hookup tool for heterosexual relationships was actually created by a gay man.
Not a good first impression. Counterintuitive to the function of...
Whoa. The feeling of someone having to pay to talk to you seems desperate.
Yeah.
What the fuck you think we were doing in clubs buying y'all drinks?
Good point.
Yeah, but that's also seen as desperate.
Well, how the fuck am I supposed to meet you? You want to be high up in your tower, me to fucking meet you and everything and stuff? How am I supposed to do? Just
talk to the people.
Oh, hi. Yeah, but sometimes you have to have a conversation started and stuff like that. And sometimes it's with money like a drink or whatever, a coffee. You're gonna talk over something.
No, you don't. If you don't know somebody, just going up to buy them a drink is weird.
Yeah,
it's super weird. First off, especially if you just pop up with the drink. She's like, I didn't even see that being drink being made. So you were ran in person. I'm not accepting a drink from a stranger.
The only time it's not weird is when she finds you attractive, which is why I tell guys not to do it, because you're essentially taking your money, you're just throwing it into a pit of nothingness, which has a 10% ROI, right? If that. It might actually be a lot less than that.
I was like, my point clear, and that's my fault. My impression is that if you go talk to someone, right, you're still gonna pay to meet them. You're gonna pay to talk to them. You're not gonna sit there and just, hey, let's have a talk. No, you're gonna be like, let's have a coffee, let's have a tea, a drink, or whatever, whatnot. So and oftentimes in the dating world, the guy is paying at the end of the.
I think I know what's going on. I think you're misunderstanding. What happens is you can like somebody on these apps, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Instead of liking them, you can super like them, or you can give them a rose,
which
you pay for those.
Yeah,
not all the time.
And what would be analogous in the real world would be like you walking up to a girl like, here's this drink, I have the drink, you want to talk.
That's what you're saying.
That's weird. Mm-hmm. Now, if you go to talk to somebody, be like, hey, you want to grab a drink? That's fine, because you're starting with a conversation point and then moving on to drinks. And that's how most people would say that's acceptable. Running up to somebody like, hey, can I buy you a drink? If they're not already attracted to you, they're going to find it off-putting.
Right.
For a lot of people.
So that's
what's so interesting about this is that maybe this is Canadian culture, but in American culture, like that's a portion of game that some dudes dip into a lot, right? Think about like the different movie tropes and shit that we have where a guy goes in, sees a girl at the bar, goes to the bartender like, hey, what is she drinking? Can you go make a drink for her? And he passes it down. Girl takes a drink, asks the bartender who's it from. The bartender points to the guy, and then she, looks at him, smiles at him, and then he understands kind of what it is, and then he goes and he makes a move. I think if you accept the Western culture as it is, you don't think that that is weird. However, I tell the fellas on my channel that I don't do shit like that. You don't need to buy a chick a drink in order to assess whether or not she values you as a potential option. A drink will not raise their desire for you. It may open up to a conversation, but why pay for that? Why not just walk over there and just start talking to them? Have we lost the art of just being able to talk to people?
Because her point of view is like, I'm already on this app for free. I'm like, and you're paying money. Like, how too desperate or invested are you into this dating app? That you're paying the money to have matches.
It's my fault. Because in my head, you on the app, you desperate too. But
I'm mad at you.
That's because I'm saying you're judging his desperation because he's willing to pay but you still on the app. You on the girl side.
Yeah, but
we have to pay.
You have to understand, these ladies, the way they have this app is wild.
But that's what
this is what they do. I'm gonna tell you what they do. They download the app. They get a bunch of matches. It's overwhelming to delete it right after.
I understand
it's crazy.
I understand, and I know that because I've seen some of my girls do the exact same thing. But I'm just saying, you calling someone desperate because what are the rules? These are the rules? Let me play by I'm desperate. Oh, my bad. That's what I think is off. That's the rule. Okay, it's unsettling. In the position that you are as a girl, you don't have to pay. Men usually come to you. In the way the app is made, they want to make the app. They come to you and they talk to you and this and that. And sometimes I can't even talk to you if you don't talk to me. Of course I'm going to pay. What else?
Well, I mean, you can just do it the regular app where you don't pay and you just swipe. She's saying, like, you can just swipe. Like, you paying extra money to set this up is weird, is what they're saying.
Okay.
I agree with Preach here.
Hey, listen. I'm not saying what you're saying is crazy. I'm just saying their perspective.
I get what you're saying. It's just that, to me, and that's me, because I'm not on the app. And that's probably my privilege. If you're on the app, you're desperate. But that's me. And it's okay to be desperate. Like, wanting to have someone to fucking cuddle you and hold you. I get that.
Yeah. My thoughts on this?
You know what? He said that initially, that you're desperate if you're on the app. And, you know, truth be told, it's been on my phone it's currently not on my phone, none of these dating apps. But it's not an app that I would sit there for, right? Like, it's mostly for me. Like, if I'm traveling different places and I want to quickly just like see what's going on, who's around to date, I'll then use the apps in that occasion. But when I'm in my own city, it's not something that I spend time in doing. It's like an afterthought activity. Like, it's like a video game, you know, like if you're doing something where you just don't want to be paying attention to things in front of you, you might go up on the app and just swipe or something like that. It's kind of like a game. Like, they've gamified dating, essentially. But anyway, I'll cut the video off right here, guys. Go up to their channel and take a look at the rest of the video. But yeah, it's a cold world out here in these dating app streets. It actually also made me think of Tinder has this new service. Let me get this on the screen real quick, where they're charging $500 for a specific tier. And at first glance, I take a look at this and I say to myself, who on God's green earth would pay $500 for a service like this on Tinder? But then my next thought is how many dudes are paying that much every month or every other month in OnlyFans subscriptions, or on sneakers, or on alcohol, or on dates, or entrances to clubs and events such as that. So while I do think that it's ridiculous, Tinder now has a tier to offer some of their higher net worth customers to give an option into a service that will probably reduce their time of just all of that dumbass swiping. And I think from a business perspective, it's dope for them to be able to do that because their app is so polluted with people that are just looking to hook up. So how do you service those that are in a different stage of life and are willing to invest into an easier selection process? Is it desperate, like Preach said? The $500 tier, yeah, there's a strong argument for that. But I think that as you gain more money in life as a man, one thing that you really value is your time. So if there's services to reduce that time, then shit, give it a try. What's $500 at the end of the day to utilize an AI or an algorithm to help? But I think charging that amount for that really sort of demonstrates the separation in our world here today between both men and women. I wish that Tinder was public so we can see the revenue for sales from a Tinder Select so we can give a formal assessment for it. But I'm sure that they're going to keep that private. Nevertheless, shout out to Abba and Preach. If you guys enjoy this video, leave me a comment down in the comment box down below, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube.